What's up? Welcome back. Another episode of Turn Up the Mic. I'm Chris. To my right, I got Roy.
What's up? What's up? It's been a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Roy had some car troubles.
When was that?
He owed a
I
couple.
remember you.
He owed.
Didn't you go out of town?
No, he owed a couple people
You were
money.
in that Corona hotel?
And I had to get out because people were looking for
Really?
me because they were looking for you.
You were in Corpus. I saw those pictures.
I was
When'd
in
you
a
get
bunker.
that gold chain that you wore in the pictures?
I don't own no jewelry.
You know what?
We got a special guest in the house. Tell people who you are, sir.
What's up, man? My name is Stayserg. I'm a local San Antonio artist.
What's up? And you got a new project out. How do you say it? Because I called it Barrio, but you got to roll the R's, right?
It's Barrio.
Yeah.
You said it right. You said it right.
It's like Barrio.
Yeah, it's Barrio Martyr.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the album, see like what went into you like putting it together and everything.
Yeah.
Talk about some sports, talk about some other music, and hopefully have a good show.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me, man.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
definitely. Last time we saw you, we were at what was the name of that place?
My wire's caught in your chair.
You're unprepared.
Bro, look at your look. Like,
What was the name of that? What was the name of the bar? It was not a
Paper
bar.
Tiger.
Yeah,
Tiger.
Paper Tigers.
I still think the White Rabbit in my head because I've been there so many more times at the White Rabbit than Paper Tiger still.
Yeah, that was like the first time we interviewed you, and we were in like it was like a little camper.
Yeah,
It was like
a
the
little
Walter-
trailer in the back.
the
yeah,
little
yeah.
Walter White.
Yeah.
It was so much black light action in there. It was crazy. But we finally upgraded some stuff. We got a little studio.
Yeah, man,
So,
it's nice.
yeah, a little AC does the
It's
soul
not on
right.
right now though. It's not on.
Yeah. But so how's your day going, Roy? So you finally
It's
made
going
it to
good,
town?
man. It's going good.
That's good.
Work's been working from home still. So they said we work from home for the rest of the year.
Okay.
That's nice. I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
tight.
yeah.
It's
I like
like
that.
You ever late?
Sometimes.
I feel that.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll be late
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I just got to, they ain't listen. I just got to say, oh man, my computer wouldn't turn on. I had to restart.
Who says that?
When you late.
I guess.
I feel that.
But yeah, before we get into the show, just want to say shout out to Joseph Blake. Hoping for a speedy recovery for him. I know he got shot like 7 times in the back.
Yeah.
And then also rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Like that
That
shit
was
came out of
crazy,
nowhere.
That
Yeah.
was insane.
It happened like I had just finished watching New Mutants, and we were like walking around Walmart, and I was just scrolling through my phone and got the news.
Like I knew he had it, but I didn't know. I thought he was like in remission or something. I didn't know like he had
Yeah.
it like that still.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Like
Not
I didn't
even
even
that, it's
I didn't know he
nowhere.
had cancer. Like
Yeah.
they were saying he was getting skinny for a role and all this other stuff, but yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. I thought it was like that 50 Cent thing. Where he was just, like,
Yeah,
super skinny, you know?
right.
Yeah.
That was wild.
And it makes his movies hit even more because I was reading an article that he would go to the sets in between
Yeah.
going to doctor and all that.
It was like
that's
the
in
last
between
4
and all
years.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like Avengers or Black Panther and then like chemo and then you have to go play the part?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Avengers gonna hit a little different now. Both
Yeah.
parts with him, like when he disappears and then when he comes back, like
Yeah, I seen a lot of people posting the
that
the
little
heaven
scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough.
He did more movies too, and I like that Jackie Robinson. He was really good in that one.
Yeah, I like how he picked his roles very, very carefully. It looked like he didn't really just jump into movies just to do it.
Yeah.
They all seem to have like a meaning behind them, you know?
Did
That
y'all
was
see
cool.
that the one he was on Netflix, the Five Bloods?
No, I haven't
haven't
watched
seen that
it.
yet.
That
I
one's
saw it was like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, it's a long movie.
I was like, I don't know if I could do it.
yeah.
I mean,
Quarantine. You
I've
got
been
this.
getting into like these hour-and-a-half movies and being done.
Yeah, bro. No, it's really good. Not only that, he's also like his character's not alive in that movie either.
Really?
Yeah, so
So is he like a ghost or
he's
something?
basically like a memory. Like it's a memory. He's
Really?
a memory that they all share. So like he'll,
Oh,
he'll
my
like
God.
come in. And,
That's
like,
gonna
you know
hit
what I'm saying?
harder
But
watching it.
not only
now.
that,
Damn.
like it's older men, you know.
Yeah.
And they stay old because they're going through their memory technically, and like he's the only one that's young. type
Damn.
shit, you know? Yeah. So,
That
like even when they're
sucks.
going back and they're showing the scenes of them in the war, like
Yeah.
the old men are still old, and then like it's like a young him.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Damn. I gotta check it out now. But yeah. So your album dropped. Did it drop this week or when did you drop it?
No,
Like
it-
officially?
last month, right?
Yeah, it's going on a month.
A month. Okay. I liked it. Like for me, it felt like I wanted to subscribe to some OnlyFans after I got done listening to it. It's definitely like
Where these Mexican women at?
Yeah, it definitely shows a lot of love to like the entrepreneur women, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, man, let me go scrolling real quick. I like the bars. I like that I like the beat selection and everything.
Yeah.
And then you're singing on some of them, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you mix it with the auto tune and everything. It was pretty good. What did you think about it, Roy?
I like the story of it.
Mhm.
You know, like what he said, but there's like more stuff to it.
Yeah, like
Oh,
if you look,
yeah,
if you look
like-
at the track list,
yeah.
I started with Pearly Gates, and then it ends with Demons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically
So it's
like,
like a
on
meaning.
heaven to like a hell
Yeah.
type listing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all I really liked was the demon part.
I like the Lisa. I didn't expect like that. When I saw the title, I was like, okay, he's gonna get a little more like about a girl,
Mhm.
and then you came
I
in
only
with
mentioned
everything,
it
and then
once.
Swanee came in. I was like, nah, it's different. What was that
Yeah.
line he said? We leave them with on their face or something. I
Yeah.
forgot. I was like,
Oh, okay. Swanee's verse.
Yeah.
Swanee's verse is crazy, bro. And honestly, that came from I mean, I was a fan of Swan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've been close for a while, but he had a song called Mona Lisa.
Okay. Did we
Um,
hear that one?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a while back. Bro,
Yeah, I
but
want to see we heard that
basically
one.
this almost the same exact flow he used on that song.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite songs. I got him to get on one of my songs. It sounded
okay.
that felt like that while I was making it. You know?
Yeah.
And not only that, we said the same thing like Lisa. So
Yeah.
that's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the songs really like from start to finish I really liked. Even the hooks were like some of my favorite parts. I liked Off-White Champagne, Blue Benz was dope, Pearly Gates was dope. Like pretty much all the songs are
I
dope.
like the production on it.
Yeah.
Cliff did
Clef
it.
went
I
crazy,
mean,
bro.
I'm starting to hear his like fingerprint because now like I'm a lot of albums into his production that he's produced, but I really liked how a lot of the songs. It's not that like you knew the song ended, but the transition was so well to the next. Like
Yeah.
you kept that story flowing.
And you know what's crazy? I didn't hear like I mean, at first they were listed in the order that I made them, you know?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then I was telling Clef like, we need to, mix it up a bit, so on and so forth. And then we created a track list and then did the whole concept of like Pearly Gates and then Demons and listed it like that. And I didn't get to really fully hear it clean through
Yeah.
until it came out on like iTunes, you know what I'm saying? And I had it on my phone like that because it was more of like pause and then play. Like
Okay.
once it ended, So I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
all right, that should be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just like went on from there, but
Yeah.
it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
liked
think
it.
that's important that people kind of forget is
Mhm.
the structure of the album, not just the content,
Yeah.
and just to flow it from one song to the next because it really does add value to it.
Yeah, and the big part of the whole album in general, is it was a 3-year in the making album. So you know what I'm saying? It took me 3 years from start to
That's what we
finish.
were saying because
Yeah.
we heard
Johnny
Johnny
True Love.
Mhm.
a
You
while back.
performed that
Mhm.
one?
Nah.
That wasn't the one. It
No.
sounded
Because
so. I've heard that one
talked
before.
about it last time we saw you.
Yeah,
That's probably what it was.
I've had snippets of it forever.
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what my boys tell me too. They're always like, "Bro, I've had this song in my
Yeah,
phone
I feel like I've
forever."
heard it.
Yeah.
It definitely has like
Yeah.
that
It's one of those in
radio
the bank.
vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Bro.
really
that,
like that.
That one was one of the ones that I kind of like hit. Not only that, that's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
The Alpha Dog.
So this Cliff guy, is he? Because Roy was calling him the
Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones of San Antonio.
Yeah.
So is he cool to work with, or is he like a Suge Knight? Or like I've never met him.
No,
Both.
that man
Both.
is one of my best friends. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Okay.
Yeah. We're really close. We've worked, like I said, it's been going for 3 years. I met him through Swanee
Mm.
and at one of his first shows, and I met him, chopped it up with him. This was like I said, that was like maybe like 4 years ago, and it was where I got a MacBook. I was
Okay.
like, oh, I've been writing poetry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I should try rapping. Like, then
Yeah.
took a whole year to be like, all right, I'm gonna go up to this guy Clef at this show, planned it all out. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him, hey man, I'll just give myself the little speech and just be like, we should work together. You know,
Yeah.
I know Swanee. Like, let's just kind of, and that's really where it started. I just showed up to the studio one day and we just started. The first song we made was, I think it was Green Eye Goddess.
Mm.
Okay.
Green
Was
Eye
it that
Goddess
song
was the
here?
first
Yeah,
one.
I heard that
Yeah,
one.
it was either that one or Blue Bends.
Okay.
It might be Blue Bends, but after that, it was kind of like, oh shit, okay,
Yeah.
like we might actually have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I
We
mean.
cooking right
Yeah,
now.
and then we did the LPX album with them too.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like
That's the one
that's
with,
one
with Who, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So like, and we're also getting back to that. Like once me and Manny come back, I mean, me and Who come back together, like it's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like we've been, I mean, with the pandemic, you know what I mean, it's kind of separated us a little bit, but
Everybody, yeah.
like he's got a bunch of things coming out. Like he's got his comic coming out. He's got music that he has. That I don't know if y'all saw the snippet of his video.
Who were Clef?
Who?
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, no, I saw him.
Yeah, that one's coming out pretty soon.
He has dope album covers.
Yeah, he does a majority of ours. Like he did the LPX one. He did one of Clef's, the recent album that Clef dropped. He did Green Eye Goddess. He's done a majority of them actually.
That's cool.
But also with Clef, going back to Clef. So after we met through that, he's like helped me create my sound. You know what I mean? Like he's really the only reason. Like I'll go in there with something written, then a beat that I've gotten that we've made. Like because we'll break up our sessions like that. You know what I mean? Like we'll go and make a beat. If I get a hook down, cool. If I don't, take the beat and come back.
Okay. So
like I'll go in there written something, go and sing it in the mic, and then I'm like, oh, that didn't sound anything like it sounded in my head, And then Clef will be like, okay, I see where you're going, but try this, and then like change the autotune a little bit up. And just drag this part out. You know what I'm saying? Drag this part out. So that in turn turned into like, oh, I already know what I'm gonna sound like at the studio. Or if I go into the mic and I can hear myself, I'm like, okay, Clef taught me this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go ahead and just run with it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, switch this melody here because he's already helped me mold it. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm grateful for him. He's Santos Quincy Jones, but he's a teddy bear.
I mean, every time we've met him, he's been cool.
Yeah.
So with the pandemic, how did that like affect the music? Because we've noticed the artists we've talked to, it's been one or two things. They've just developed more and more music because they got time, or they kind of took time off because they couldn't do shows and stuff.
Yeah. See, with me, I mean, I wasn't really doing shows. That last show I did was the one with Swanee. And then before that was a show in Houston that we just did to like be out of our city, do a show real quick, and then come back, so get the feel for it, basically. But with studio time, since me and Clef are so close, he knows I'm only, and with my family in this area, he's really just in the studio.
Yeah.
Sanitizing, stuff like that, wearing our mask. Like I've been doing a lot of work with him recently. Like we recently just completed a song. That song's super hard.
Yeah.
Like, cause I mean, with everything going on and stuff, me and him gone, and like we went to a good amount of protests together. So like that chemistry plus our friendship, like we get in the studio quite often.
Yeah. So is it different from the songs that are on this project?
Oh yeah,
it is. Yeah. So is it gonna be like more woke type music, or like conscious, basically?
Yeah, because I mean, with this, like I'm saying, it's the past. Barrio Martyr to me is like exactly what it sounds like. Like it's a martyr, which is like a mindset, was the way I looked at it. Like, or somebody who dies for their beliefs or what they're holding on to. You know what I mean? So I looked at it as that. Like I was killing off a part of myself that's been holding on to things for the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So that's where the whole concept of the album came from. So now moving forward, it's really kind of just what I'm going through now, right? And like on my day to day and things that are going on around me, type thing. Not so much of what I'm going through or been through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. That's why it was like, what was it, like 12 songs long?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna touch a little bit on your project a little bit later. We got Jaden Smith. He dropped Cool Tapes Volume 3. Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it, man.
It's hard to read him sometimes because he has that face like, oh, I didn't do my homework. You didn't like it, huh?
Nah, I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
Me either.
But
it's just because I'm a big fan of his old stuff.
Right.
His old stuff was awesome. I mean, I don't even call it old. It was
Sire and then Sire backwards.
But this fits like that. It's not a trilogy anymore, but whatever it is,
it didn't fit for me.
No, but
you talking about for Cool Tape?
Yes. Okay. It fits the Cool, because I've always been a fan of the Sires, Edward with Sire and Aries. But for me, like Sire that's the pocket I like. When he did like Icon and all that. Batman. But and the reason why like it pissed me off is because when I would listen to it, I'm like, man, he gives me glimpse of that cadence that I like. I'm like, what you just saying shit that I like. Like
it was like, sleepy to me. Yeah, like it was
very emo rap.
Wasn't really emo to like,
bro. He said, "I'll jump off the roof." Like, if you don't call back.
Like when I think of emo, I think like sad, but I wasn't really sad listening to it. I was bored.
But this is emo rap. Like that's what's coming out now.
If it was like he was so is Drake an emo rapper?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think like when I
But
think
no, but
I
look,
just
but-
get emo when I listen
look.
to Drake. Is a difference.
Yeah, but no, but Jaden literally he didn't have as many like I mean, his verbiage was very straightforward about like his feelings on it.
yeah,
Drake puts you in the mood, but he can like his lyrics are either way. It's how you take it.
yeah.
With Jaden, he was straightforward, like, I need you to call me back. Please call me back.
I guess so.
That was a wasted Justin Bieber collab.
Yeah,
That was a wasted.
Justin Bieber's been doing a lot of pop features though lately. I like Justin Bieber when he's like R&B singer, but you don't
Yeah.
get a lot of that. So what can you do?
I do like that song, Photograph off it. It like he could have done like a punk album based off that sound. Like Photograph was really different than the rest.
Mhm.
The way he harmonized himself, he was singing, it was very like punkish to me. And I wouldn't mind an album like that, but it would have been like that, just came out of nowhere style.
Mhm.
Yeah, for me, I think when I think of Jaden, I think he's like the mix of Kanye and Drake when he raps, and like just his overall persona. Because when he raps, I think of Drake, and then the beats that he does, I think of Kanye
Kanye.
does a lot
Mm.
of sampling.
I love that.
But yeah, this just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
When did
But-
Cool Tapes 1 and 2 come out?
Cool Tapes 2 came out in 2015, I think. So I don't even know when one
He's
came
been
out.
holding on to these
Like,
for a while.
I don't know when one came out, but this is something we talked about when he released his last project, that we all felt like he's still finding a sound.
No, we didn't. That was
Yeah.
only you.
Yeah, and now it tells me even more because this is completely different. Like he's still looking for what
Like
he
Sire
wants.
and then the one backward Sire were pretty much the same. It wasn't like he was still trying to find
But
a
the
sound.
Cool
I
Tapes
feel like
are
that was,
different.
that's what I'm saying. But Cool Tape came out like a while ago. Like I don't think of those.
You think of his catalog.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think
and
of
not
those.
like that. Like it could be old new stuff. Like he can mix it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
could have stuff.
So like when he did Cool Tapes 3, I would think this is more of him trying to find a different sound versus Sire and then the other two, because those two
But
were
he's
pretty
still
much.
looking for his sound. Like
I don't think he's looking for a sound.
And then
This is
even-
him trying something different. In my
even
opinion.
that one like mixtape that popped out of nowhere after Aries, what was it? Electric Beats or Electric something.
Mm.
He popped
Oh,
that
yeah,
out, and
no.
that was like completely different also. But
You be dramatic when you say completely different, but I
it
guess.
is. You need to listen to that one. It was like Cool Electric or something.
I guess. And what? No, I think that was the only one that really dropped. That one and Barrio Martyr. Those two were my only listens this week.
What yeah, this week, yeah. I didn't finish Nas.
Nobody finishes Nas.
So speaking of Nas, like not about the album, I saw a lot. This just tells me like he can't keep people listening, because I saw it all over my Facebook feed, my Twitter feed about Nas, about certain bars he used.
Mhm.
But I mean, for the amount of that I saw, his first week sales were 45K. I don't think that's a lot.
How much do you?
I mean,
think
for-
Nas is
an
an
let
established
me
like,
rephrase it.
artist?
I don't think that's a lot for like the amount I saw on my feed. So it was a lot of shares of people liking bars, but no one listened.
I
It
guess.
was all like they saw this. Oh, I like this bar. Let me read. So no one actually went and listened.
Yeah.
People made fun of Dave East for doing 35K.
But Davies is like a. I mean,
Would,
somebody that's.
would you say he's
competing
still
with
like underground ish?
Nah,
Would you say he's like an established artist?
Oh,
He's established. Dave East.
Davies.
Yeah.
Would you though, or would you put him in the
I have him.
room with
Everyone I
with a
talk
joiner.
to knows him.
With a joiner?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a joiner for sure.
Mm.
Because
I-
you can't. I wouldn't put him next to a YG. Like,
I would
Y-
say YG's established.
Yeah,
Yeah,
YG's
YG's
established.
established.
It's like if he does 13, that's fine. Like you can clown him, but
Yeah.
Davey seems more of like a underground still coming up artist to me.
Nah, I think he's more established than y'all think. Like YG is more like a Wale to me.
No,
'cause-
I don't know about
yeah.
that.
I mean, remember, it also came out that he didn't hit his mark set by like the record company either.
Who YG?
No, Dave East. With that,
I wonder why. Is he not
because-
established enough?
he's established.
I don't know. I wouldn't put him up there with that.
I would put him like in the 60s, 70s,
What'd you say he sold?
35.
I
No,
don't
but
know.
that was Nas did 45.
So they were also talking about the whole Jay-Z dropping the same days as Nas thing, like the little trend that he's been doing.
That's real, bro. Yeah.
I saw that. So do you count like features? Because it felt like they were starting to stretch a little bit,
bro. That song was ass. Like
it felt like they were starting to stretch a little bit. Like he did a feature the same day Nas dropped.
It honestly felt like that song was complete. And then Pharrell told Jay, "Hey, I'm releasing a song. You want to hop on it since Nas is dropping?" And that's all it was. Like it was.
Or Jay-Z went and told him, like, "Hey, I'm getting on your song."
Yeah, because it was like, I know it's Pharrell's song, but Pharrell's really good about, because I mean he produces, so he's really good at blending the sounds with whoever he's collaborating with.
His part was trash though.
No, but here's what I'm saying: like the whole song, it was just all Pharrell vibes. Like I got nothing from Jay-Z. Even when Jay-Z did his verse, it's like he just copy pasted on top of Pharrell's like beat. Like there was no like crap, like there was no collab in it.
So now you're beating him up because it didn't match the guy that he was on the song with.
Yeah, Pharrell's a producer. He does that all the time. It's in his track record.
He trashed Eminem for doing this. He
was
like,
for doing what?
Eminem was copying the guys that he was on the song with. He trashed Eminem for doing it. Now he's bashing.
I trashed Eminem because he's Eminem.
Now he's bashing Jay-Z for not.
I mean, I could agree with that on that Juice
not
WRLD
matching.
song.
Like
Juice WRLD song.
Was it the Juice WRLD song?
See?
Was it Juice WRLD?
It was Juice WRLD.
Was it?
Yeah.
He got mad because he was matching his tone. He was like, "Do your own thing." Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
Now he's beating up Jay-Z for doing his own thing. Like, bro, keep the same energy. What are you talking about?
I feel that.
I'm saying the same thing.
You're not. You're saying two different things,
bro. What we got else? What else?
Anyway, I didn't like the song. I felt like this shouldn't have been considered a Jay-Z song. I like Jay-Z's verse.
Hyped up either. Like,
yeah, it was hyped
it was
up.
So like, it's that free promotion that they get. Like, it would have been just like a regular share here and there, but all the shares wasn't Jay dropping a song. All the shares were Jay dropping the song same time as Nas.
It made it look like an album was dropping or it was the actual Jay song, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And then you got I guess Meg the Stallion confirming Tory Lanez shot her. I don't know again why everybody's acting surprised now. Like, we already knew this. Like, I guess it's just confirmed.
Sometimes you need facts. Sometimes, don't you say you want facts?
But like,
you always say, "Show me the proof."
I'm not gonna be surprised when R. Kelly says, "Yeah, I peed on him." Like, we knew. Like, what are you talking about?
Rumors are he got assaulted in jail. Saw that?
Yeah, I mean, they peed on him. It happens. But do you think Tory Lanez can come back from this?
No.
You don't think so? No. Chris Brown did.
That's different.
What's
he
worse?
Shot someone.
Yeah,
shooting a woman.
Both feet. What's worse? Chris Brown or Tory Lanez?
Tory Lanez, without a doubt.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
Bro, you actually thinking?
There's no coming back from that.
You're thinking?
He blew out her foot.
Yeah.
You saw the stitches. You saw the stitches.
He is from Canada too, though.
I mean,
that's twice as bad. He's supposed to be nice.
That's crazy, bro. That's
man,
insane.
Bro. It's like, and what makes it worse is that Meg felt like she didn't want to say anything, but it just got to the point where she felt like his management team was doing so much to go against her that she had to say something.
Like, did you see what they were doing though? What were they doing?
You mean like posting the blogs, like telling people?
Yeah, I didn't see none of that. Like, what was his narrative?
That it was like a confrontation and she started everything.
Oh, I didn't see all that. I didn't even.
Yeah,
remember that's what they were saying.
Remember, it was that
compared to how little she is.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what everybody
and
said.
Was it also remember
facts,
that
though.
He was? What was the first narrative came out? She got mad at him for like hitting.
The whole Kylie thing
on Kylie.
Okay.
And then so that's when she stormed off or some shit.
None of them really worked in his favor though.
Yeah,
like all the excuses didn't really make sense.
Shoot a girl.
Like both feet. Like
and they're like, that's the worst narrative. That she ran away and you shot her. She's fucking leaving. Like,
yeah. So do you think Meg is going down the Rihanna trajectory now?
No, not at all.
It's way bigger. She has OGs coming out the woodwork.
Like everybody
with a defender.
Can she be
it's already been noted that when everything happened on that incident, she did not say this. So she didn't. It's not even on a report anywhere.
So do you think she can be big as Nicki now?
Big. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
She's already as big as her. I mean, she's if anything, Nicki's not doing nothing, but you know what I'm saying, making her situation worse.
Yeah.
Nicki's just like a whole nother level right now, bro. Yeah. Like Like the shit she's doing, the baby, like who's the baby daddy, and then the song she's on, like she's not even putting like efforts into.
So you
it.
think Nicki's regressing while Meg is taking over that spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because the
Without a
only
doubt.
person she's in a race with is
Cardi?
Cardi.
Yeah.
And
Man, I could use the Cardi record right about now.
For real, bro. Like I don't give a shit. The Invasion Privacy was badass. No skips. Like that shit bangs.
Yeah, hands down. I've only heard good
I
things
remember
about it.
the first time I heard of Cardi, it was Bloody Bars. Did you ever hear that one?
Mm-mm.
Where she's like, she's just with a bunch of Bloods in New York.
Really?
She took like the 6ix9ine route and like is going hard.
Was it a video?
Hard. Yeah, it was a video. It's a video.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's like one of her first songs. You know what I'm saying, like before Bodak Yellow, like that song was like, wow.
Like when I
True.
first heard her music, I was like, oh damn, she sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me hear
rap's
more.
gonna take over it before we know anything, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm for sure.
Because people are hyping up that big what's her name? The one you like.
Big Lotto.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked her. Did you hear that one?
Yeah, I heard
Mulatto or
that. Yeah, I
whatever.
heard that.
I didn't think I would like it. Man, I played that album like 3 times in a row. It was pretty good.
You're like no skips,
Yeah,
no sleep.
no
3
she had
times
like
in a row.
She had like 1 skip, but I like that album too. But I could definitely see female rappers taking over.
Hey, Joe.
So switching to sports, do you have a team as far as like NBA?
Yeah, Spurs, man.
Oh, you like Spurs, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, it's my team.
That's interesting.
Die hard.
Yeah.
Every time I meet a Spurs fan, it's like a very neutral thing.
But you know what? We're always surprised that guests say that, but most are from
But
San
we're
Antonio.
here, yeah. I forget where
It's
I'm
just
at.
because we're from San Antonio and neither of us are Spurs
Yeah,
fans.
like Spurs. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, but y'all from San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
born
true.
raised in that. But
Well, yeah,
you
so
know,
who's your team though?
Mavericks.
I'm not a fan of any team. I make picks.
He's a bandwagoner.
not really.
So,
Yes,
okay,
you
but
are.
so then you've been a Mavericks fan?
Who?
You? Yeah.
My whole life. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm more of a player fan.
So it's LeBron.
LeBron. Yeah.
Okay, that's different. That's
Yeah.
taking over.
Yeah,
I feel that.
it's definitely
No,
different.
you're not. Shut up.
I'm not a LeBron fan.
2 years ago, you were all over Golden State. You go for who's going to
What
have the best
player?
record?
What player?
Curry.
Curry.
So I picked the team with the best record before the season even started.
Because they're projected 3 years ago. No one was going to beat Golden State.
When he
Who?
starts to stutter, that's how you know he's
Nah,
lying.
who was going to beat Golden State 3 years ago?
We were before they broke my boy Kawhi's.
Bruh.
Come on.
No, they weren't.
We were winning.
Y'all
that.
weren't going to win
We
it.
were definitely gonna.
Y'all
win
weren't going to win it.
it. LeBron. That's all we needed was for Kawhi to be there,
And
my boy Duncan would have.
and it was a catch for Des Bryant. We can't go there, okay?
That's-
We can't go there.
That's
We
true,
can't
too.
go there.
Des
We
Bryant-
can't
Des
go
Bryant
there.
Did catch that ball.
I mean, we
Yeah.
can't go there.
Des
It is
Bryant
what it
catch
is.
that ball.
What happened.
So do you think Mavs are gonna win? You
No.
don't have the Mavs beating Clippers.
No, I don't.
I do. I'm not a Kawhi fan. Are you a Kawhi fan?
I don't want to be like
Dang.
everything in me does not want to be that.
But you have to
man's
respect
fan.
his game,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Not only that, he's a baller, and then there's a big backstory behind him too that I found I found out pretty recently. Like,
What's his backstory?
his dad passed away, and like he had to work at their shop or like their car wash to keep it like open for
Mhm.
forever and play ball at the same time.
Yeah.
And so like he was like supporting his family that way. And then the first championship he won with us was on Father's Day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
As a person, he seems like a cool guy. I don't like him as a player though. It's not really.
Yeah, but because he left. But then again, I hate Marcus Morris more because he took batons from us, bro. And then goes to the Clippers, and now he's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's more of a reason I don't want the Clippers to win.
That's funny how life
and then
works.
what the story about Patrick Beverly, and you're like, yeah, you don't even like it anymore. Like,
Yeah.
did you
He's
see
like-
that? I forgot who she was. She was one of the representatives for the players, and they're talking about salary or like what they do in the bubble, and he told her, "Shut up, I pay your salary." And like Chris Paul and everyone, they're like, "Nah, like you need to stop." Like,
Patrick
not gonna
Beverly.
Yeah.
Like
That's
You
of all,
can't say
people,
that
of
right
all
now.
people,
wrong.
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Come on, bro.
I guess Skip's
Yeah.
right about him.
Like,
He has that intensity.
You one bad game away from not being re-signed.
See, but the
Like,
thing is,
that's
just
crazy.
Kawhi will turn it on and turn it off all at once, but like he'll take over a game, score like 9 points, and
Yeah.
And take the
mean,
day off.
yeah, and like and then like he'll pass the ball every once in a while and then be like that was a waste of it, and then keep it next 3 possessions.
Yeah.
So you can't camp that out. I want Dallas to win though. It's a Texas team.
Yeah.
I mean, I do
Yeah.
too. I mean, I just don't see
Not only
it.
that, my boy Luca is cold. Bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
KP
definitely
but
getting a lot of recognition.
KP's also out for the series.
Yeah, but I mean, he wouldn't really need him. Like, I mean, that
He
last
takes
game,
off. He takes off. He's averaging a double 2010.
Yeah, yeah. Not
Like-
only that last one was a triple double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
ridiculous.
crazy because it's one of those
Yeah.
like duos where Luka takes so much spotlight that people forget KP's stats. Like
Yep.
KP's balling
Yeah.
like 25 and 15. Like he's balling, but he's not doing it flashy like Luka. So, but that's a big take. And also he takes like you have to defend him. So he gives Luka more ability to play his game because Luka won't be a double team as much.
Yeah. That's true. I mean,
But-
I don't know. I got me some money off that last game.
They're playing today, right? No,
They play
tomorrow.
tomorrow because of the postpone and the boycotting. So
They
Thursday
really shouldn't be playing at all, man.
You don't think so?
No, man.
Don't think
I
so?
think they should.
I think they did their message with the postpone of all the 2 days. So that was all games,
Yeah.
and then they did their boycotting, and then they're back on. So they sent a message to the owner. Sent a message.
I like that they're playing because it's making it like uncomfortable for people that don't like it. It's like
Yeah.
every time you watch the game, you got to see BLM, you got to see who's next, you got to see all the stuff, and then like when they go to like the press and they have like the little after game interviews,
Yeah.
you got to hear them talking about it. Then so I think it keeps the message in front of people.
Even the names on the jerseys, like
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
I
think
mean, I feel like they like they're doing. Yes, I give them credit on that, but it's like watered down, or like it's only like it's basically at your job. If you're at work, they're gonna be like, oh, don't talk about politics, or
yeah,
you can talk about politics, don't talk about this, that, and the fourth. Like just like you can only put so many things on the back of your jersey. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
So-
all of them right now, the way NBA is handling it, they've all been able to say pretty much what they want. They haven't. The only thing right now is they feel restricted just because of the bubble, but that's
Mhm.
not the NBA's fault. That's the pandemic's fault. Like they can't go out and do certain things right now, but that's just to be safe because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
pandemic.
And then like I also like you gotta think forward, like if they don't play, then that's like a ripple effect, like financial wise.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that prevents you from putting
Yeah.
money in your pockets where you can help your community and stuff like
And
that.
that's what Kyrie was like trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was where Kyrie was like, we should just boycott the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like we were talking the other day, I was like, LeBron's the face of the league, but his income is that top percent of the league. That's not the majority of people in the league. So a lot of the people that were like voting to play, they were saying getting that money
Yeah.
would help them to invest and put more in the community because they basically need the check.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm glad they're playing, and the ripple effect. I said all 4 major sports didn't play that day.
Yeah.
And it was like spontaneous too. It wasn't like it was planned. It just all happened.
Yeah.
See, but then it goes and it shows people's ass because you have people like Urlacher coming out and will, say some
Yeah.
foul stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And like that goes to show like you're looking at it as it's taking away rather than adding momentum to the situation. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Like I really like the NBA over like most of the sports because of like the freedom and the open-mindedness that they show,
Mhm.
You got like NFL. I'm excited to see what the NFL does too. Like, you think your Cowboys are gonna have some BLMs or who's next on their jerseys?
Yeah.
That's
know,
a
if-
negative.
If the
Jerry
NFL
Jones,
said
bro?
yeah.
if the NFL allows them,
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
NFL says yeah, but Jerry?
he can't say no right now.
Okay. But yeah, so when you put your album together, it took you 3 years. So
Yeah.
did you have like a whole lot of music that you compacted to this like 15 songs or
Well, for the most part, it started like I said, it started with the LPX album, and then we moved on to working on my album. And I took maybe the only one that I re-released was Mexican Girls Love Cocaine, just because that's my song, bro. Like,
yeah,
that-
I like that
When I was
title,
driving,
too.
I saw that title. I was like, "Oh, it's about to get lit!" Like,
Wanted to skip ahead to that one.
yeah, no, that song is super because like when we released it on the LPX album, it was the wrong upload. So
Okay.
it was missing my whole last verse. And
Okay.
it was just an empty like beat. So I was
Really?
just like, yeah, so like, man, I'm re-releasing that. So I took that song from there, and then the rest of them I made like, over that 3-year process. So it was kind of just like maybe being in the studio, taking about almost a month to finish each song. But at that time, Clef was working with so many people. Man,
Okay.
It was crazy to get scheduled with him at that time.
Yeah.
Man. He didn't.
so having that big time frame to complete this, did the concept of the album ever change or alter? Because a lot of people, if they record like in a short time,
Mm.
the concept's pretty clear cut of what they want because they don't have, I'll say, a lot of time to think it or change it or whatever. Did it change it all? Was this basically what you thought of when you started making it, like the concept and the flow or everything?
So really, it kind of molded itself. Like it
Okay.
was at the moment, like even in a lot of the bars that I'm saying, like it's stuff that I was going through that week. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and I would get there and like have either like a week out with my boys or a week like getting into it with my girl or just different things like that ended up transpiring into like I'm frustrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm be at the studio. A beat's on. I'm sitting there and all I could think about is all my frustrations. You know what I mean? It's everything's being pushed to the front of my head and it ends up just building a whole catalog in itself of what I was going through anyways. So the concept really is just life.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And it was almost on a every time I was gonna hit the studio, I had just went through this situation or had to have dealt with certain amount of things, and then I just put my own twist on like it needs to sound good though.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're in the studio and you're trying to pick a beat, how do you go about doing it? Do y'all go through like a little catalog of different beats and you like skip ahead to see if it changes and stuff, or
Oh no,
like what's
man.
the process for that?
The process of the beat making is Clef.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That man builds it from scratch. I'm talking about every single noise you hear in that is
Right.
either done by him or he even goes in the booth and will
Wow.
and then add his own mixer to it, and like that's in the back of the beat. And like like a normal person wouldn't notice it, but because I've heard it so many times, I heard him do it, I can hear it each and every time.
Okay.
So yeah, he builds those beats from scratch. And the process, really, I remember the first time chilling there, I fell asleep.
Really?
Yeah,
Because he's making it from scratch, like then and there and stuff.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It takes and like there's been some beats, bro, where it took almost like 2 hours a beat.
Really?
Like, and that's because like my man isn't taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
Like he's building it from each and every melody. There's been some where like Automatic Dan, Dirty Sanchez, he gets on there.
Okay.
I mean, and he'll rip some guitar licks, and like that's crazy. Like the
That's
Off-White
wild.
Champagne, man. When he went in there, like I had the song complete, and it was just like something's missing,
Right.
And Clef was like, I got the perfect guy for him. I had never met him before,
Yeah.
And that's when he had just first started coming around too. He's like, I'm gonna call him and see if he can come right now. So he comes and just puts all of it, bro. The very first time, I'm saying, like Clef just showed him the song and started recording right after.
So you saw the guy just come in off the street with the guitar and stuff, and just
hear
like
my song for the first time. Like he was Clef's homie, to me, hear my song for the first time and be like, oh man, I like this, and then just kind of like listen, and then
I got this. He's like, got this.
That's
yeah, bro.
wild.
Like,
That's cool.
And added it because my voice was already there,
Yeah.
So like that's what made the song hold to me. That's one of my favorite songs.
Do
That's
you
crazy.
normally write with beats or without? Like, what's your process? Like, do you do it together? Because you said he builds the beats. Like, are you writing as you're listening to him build it?
Yeah.
Or?
See, but then there'll be times like where I'll start maybe a good 4 bars, and like it's just the background of the beat, really. I mean,
Okay.
He still has to build on top of it. So
like a bass, basically.
yeah, it's like the
okay.
bass, the kicks. Like I know where it's gonna speed up basically at this point, or where my flows need to switch.
Yeah.
But then there's been times when I've written almost a whole verse, and then go and put it on the beat, and he adds something, and it's just different. So there've been times. So now I wait to the end because I'm a little bit quicker now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's crazy. So he has like he listens. Do you play like let him know what you're gonna say first, and then he figures out like a cadence to match that style of rap?
No, not really. Like I go from the beat and then just build on from there. So like let's say there's a switch up. I've had some beats like recently to where like we made a switch up in it. That'll be different. Like that's like, oh man, bro, I'm stuck on this same flow. Let's kind of switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
And or we'll add different things to the background, like hums, or like I said, we'll like it's our voice, but we're changing it to a part of the beat. Yeah.
That's like super original.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's from scratch, bro. My boy basically bakes it.
Does he have like that little beat machine where it's like the box and the like the little bars and stuff that
he'll
he hits?
use a keyboard right here.
Really?
I mean, like a piano keyboard.
Yeah.
And then like kind of just in the computer.
Yeah, like that one guy. I forgot his name.
Oh, the white guy.
The one who I tried putting him on him. They said they didn't like him, but now
the one who the Erica Badu interview.
Yeah, the crazy.
Yeah, basically that's exactly.
What's his name?
Wild.
Yeah.
I forget. Nobody knows his name.
Looks
I
like
forget.
a teacher.
Mark something. Mark.
Is
Buscemi.
it Harlow?
No. But anyway, that's cool. We gotta get him on the show.
All right.
But yeah, man, that's super dope.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have an idea for your next project? Are you thinking about it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now I really want to focus on Barrio Martyr.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have the Blue Bands video coming out soon.
Nice.
Yeah, and
That's a good song.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That's the one that's like from the album that for me is like you get in the car, you're riding around.
Yeah.
I'm not riding on the Benz, but you know.
he left that part out. You riding around, period.
Yeah. So like that's exactly what that song makes me feel like, you know, like, so, and that's the thing. That's why I put it second. At first, it was the first one.
Yeah.
It was the first one on the song, on the album that I wanted to be like, all right, this is what people got to hear. You
Right.
know, like, and the video too is really like, we did it in LA and in Vegas. And the story behind that is ridiculous. But yeah, basically we got to Vegas. My home, the videographer's there. We go to LA, forgets the camera. We go to LA to get the Ronin.
Okay.
So forgets the camera, and we have to drive all the way back to Vegas.
So he forgot it, like
forgot it.
That's
forgot
so
it.
crazy. Like,
So we had to go all the way back
That's
to
like
Vegas.
a 4-hour drive-ish.
Yeah.
Who
but
does
this,
that?
This was like we're getting to LA at like maybe like 8 or 9, you
Mhm.
know, at night already.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we're gonna pick up the Ronin. We're gonna from like you could like rent them or something.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna either try and find something that we can shoot at night, or we'll just shoot in the beach or wherever in the morning, you know. And we were just like, okay, so let's go all the way back to Vegas. Literally, when we got back to Vegas, bro, it's 4 a.m. There, I ate an edible, so I was like super knocked out and frustrated,
like a weekend video.
And I woke up and they're like, Serge, Cliff thinks that this is gonna be a good spot for you. Like, you should get dressed. Bro, I literally poured water on my hands, bro, and fixed my hair. And I was just like,
let's go,
right, bro,
let's go.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That sounds like a weekend video.
Definitely sounds like
you know, like that's wild.
It came out really good though. And that's dropping soon. My boy from Vegas goes by many names. Art Club. What is it? I think he has a couple of them. Janie Films.
Yeah.
But he's the one who shot the video originally.
Okay.
But I got Davey Dave editing it.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's gonna come out really clean.
Have you tried? Are strip clubs open yet? I know you're a connoisseur.
I don't know. I've seen those drive-through ones they've had.
Have you tried getting?
I've seen people post it.
Have you tried getting some of these records into the strip club? Because man, these are some dollar throwers. Like, I could definitely hear these like being performed to.
I see that. Make a scheme love cocaine.
Especially like these are some good songs.
I mean, I know my boys have sent me some videos of them being played. Yeah, I had a boy who was a DJ who put some people on.
Yeah, these songs are like, you know how you can hear music and then like you can visualize it. Like most of these songs have that.
So you heard, then you visualize the money throwing. Is that what you're saying?
Like from what you told me, yeah.
You're the one that brought it up. What are you talking about?
Late nights that you said you'd be home late.
I work at home. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, buddy. But yeah, man, that's so dope.
Yeah, man, it's that's my plan though. I really want to start looking into getting I mean, when places open back up, at least getting played around town, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, for sure. And then I guess moving forward, next one's gonna be Barrio Martyr too.
Nice.
Sure. And then I already have an idea for the third album. I could give you the name of that one. It's we're gonna call it Resurgence, and like emphasize on the surge part. So it's Resurgence.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I'm gonna come out with a little action film for it too.
That's cool.
So do you plan to make this like a run on? Like you'll have this one number 1, number 2, and
then it's gonna be like my Carter.
Yeah, like every now and then
sure.
make another sequel to it and stuff.
Yeah, because I mean the name, like I said, the concept of it is my life, and this part of me that I in sections go through to where I'm like, all right, I've already dealt with that. I'm not gonna be that person, or I'm gonna move forward from that person. And that's really what the name stands for me.
It's so much easier to follow a catalog when people do that. To know when stuff came out.
So this one is before that one.
Yeah. You will see the one. Which one's bigger? 2's bigger that came out last.
I should do it like Star Wars. To
You're right.
I'm gonna
start with 7.
I'm gonna drop the 6th one next. You know what I mean?
That's funny. So what was your favorite song on this project?
To me, bro, it's Off-White Champagne.
Nice.
Like that one, that one's my Grammy song, bro. You know what I mean? Like, but the funnest one to me was Lisa. I mean, like, and that's the one where like, if my homies are singing it, like they know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Or, like they know like certain like bars, or they're like, it's just I put it there because we lived through it. You know what I mean? So like that's the funnest song to me.
Like listening to that song, that music video would be lit.
Yeah, no, that's something I talked. That's something I've talked to Swan about. But my man's is going crazy. So he's like, yeah, bro. It's like when it fits into my catalog, let's do it. So that eventually is gonna come too.
So which one of these were like your stepchild song, like the most frustrating one to make?
Oh man, Die For Me.
Really?
Die for me was like, because the beat is ding 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 ding, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, bro, it sounds like a church, you know. But like, what am I gonna do? This man just spent 2 hours creating this beat. I'm not gonna stand there and be like, I don't like it.
That's funny.
So like, it was different before that. It was the chorus was get this track, like, and I was like, that's not me. I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, so like, and the thing is with clubs, I guess touching back to that too, is just like, nah, like, you're not married to that idea, bro. You came up with that idea at 4 a.m. Like, let's just change it. And I'm like, no, I think I like it. Like,
no, you don't.
Are you gonna tell me if I met a girl at 4 a.m. and I end up marrying her, you're gonna tell me, nah, bro, you met that girl at 4 a.m.
So he's pretty open with like giving you his opinion and everything then.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
That's cool.
I mean that makes a partnership even better.
Yeah, especially because we're friends, but that helps me build so much, you know, because like, I mean, he's not scared to tell me shit. I'm not scared to tell him shit. You know, like we definitely, like, not that we get to altercations, but it'll help us build. Like, okay, well then, I guess we're taking a break.
Where's the edible?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. I appreciate you coming through. Definitely look forward to more music because I like most of the songs as well.
Yeah, man. I'm like I said, I'm gonna be pushing this one for a little bit longer. I also have stuff with Duvin. I don't know if y'all heard of Duvin on the beat.
It sounds familiar, but I think because on the beat sounds familiar.
Yeah, he does. He does Mateo, a lot of Mateo's work, a lot of King Kali's work. You know, and those two guys going crazy. You know, the stuff that we have is like a 2-part tape. So like, I'm coming out with the side you hear on Lisa, which is just a bunch of bars.
Yeah,
and then I'm also doing a darker side of it to where I'm just singing.
Okay.
And like trying to differentiate the two, you know.
Yeah.
So that one should be out pretty soon. I'll give that about another month.
Okay.
And then when can we expect? Was it LPX?
LPX, yeah. See, that's my thing, man. Like that's where I started, you know. So like, I definitely want to get back to that. Me and who we have our conversations here and there, and like want to get back to that, you know. But I can't. Like, I'm excited to hear what he has, and then not only that, getting back in the studio with him, because it's like going back and forth with that dude, bro. Like it brings me back to starting, you know, because I would hear him in the studio and just be like, oh, I gotta say something.
So it's like competitive,
you know what I mean? Like, so like it causes me to write better. Yeah, just be like, oh, the way he said that sounds good. Or I'll say something and then he'll go and use the same cadence but say something better.
Yeah.
Guess nah.
That's funny.
It makes the best music. You know what I mean? Because that's that camaraderie and the compatibility between us two.
Okay. Well, yeah. Where can people check your social media out? Your music's being dropped at?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I'm on Instagram. It's Stayserg _. Twitter is just Stayserg. I just made a Facebook, so I'm kind of getting that all back up. It's really just my family right now. Like my aunt's on there commenting on my pictures, and I love you.
Support.
Yeah,
the best support.
Yeah. So it's definitely not. I haven't dropped anything on there, but Twitter and Instagram for the most part, and then all my music's on every single platform. So you got me on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. All you really gotta look up is Stayserg, all one word.
Yeah, that's super convenient. That way you don't have to like go searching for it. Where can people check us out at, Roy?
Spotify up there where Joe's podcast is. We're right there, right underneath it.
Wow.
YouTube,
clout chasing.
Apple Music, Apple. We're there sometimes, but yeah, check us out on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, it don't matter where y'all listening. We appreciate it. Turn up the mic. We out.